Welcome back. Good afternoon. What's going on, guys? Let's get into it. Big day for tech. Big day for everything was green today. Market's all green today. Again, big correction coming from the market. Even some tickers entering what is considered technically a bear market, 20%, minus 20%. Things like Tesla, ARK, all entered that yesterday, rebounding today, right? Big rebound today. What is starting the big rebound? The big March monthly is gamma squeeze. You're seeing it everywhere. When you look at the price movement, you can see it. You can see it in the areas of where there's the most obvious amount of option volume is where the most volume is on the underlying of those certain tech stocks. Why is it today? Why wasn't it yesterday? Why wasn't it from weekend buying going into the weekend? Well, there was still a lot of shakiness from Friday and yesterday. So today's the first rebound day. So again, for people to get involved in those, you had to be buying and chasing today and not so much chasing because, again, when you look at this, you have a long way to go up to here. So if you're buying anywhere in here, you're certainly not chasing. Let's just be honest, right? You're certainly not chasing. You're pretty low. And Mobsky made a nice joke in chat of, I know one of you clowns bottom tick Tesla. I'm sure there are some clowns that bottom tick Tesla because they've been trying to bottom tick it for weeks, right? So we go look at the Tesla chart. 20% on Tesla. How many percent is it away from all-time high? Pretty fucking far. Pretty far. So you can miss 20%. No, it sounds weird to say. You can miss 20% here, and you're going to feel okay. Especially for those of you that have been on the other side, right? So let's try to break down a little bit of today for what it means, because again, it's one thing to have these candles here today. What does that's not what it's about. It's not about one candle, right? Not about one day. Where does it fit into the overall picture? Well, first of all, we do know that everything leading into March 19th is getting squeezed, and that this causes quite the start, right? It starts, you just had a day that has now started at least some sort of acceleration, this idea of having some speed in the market. It needs to consolidate it. Now, tomorrow, the question for what is the move going to be on the week is really tomorrow. It depends on how much it retraces. So, for instance, the NASDAQ did 4% today. Does it take profit 2% tomorrow? Does it only take half a percent? That number is going to be very important for us to understand of where price is going into the future. And again, we need clarity of this move. We need a consolidation of this move. If price just continues to move to the upside, okay, there might be some clarity there. In between the levels, there's clarity of, okay, trade between the levels. It's going to be quick through those. But we need to see it. Again, one day is not enough for us to make decisions. It's just not. Again, these things take time. And so, again, one candle could be like back here. March 1st, you know what happened on this day? We did about 3% in tech, and everything looked like they were going to get inflow, and then it fucking sold down, right? It sold down into the end of the week, right? That started the week off. Started the week off really well. This was not Monday. This is Tuesday, so a bit of a day lag. So, again, we need more clarity. So those of you that are like, fuck, I missed 20% on Tesla. Did you, though? Did you miss 20%? I didn't trade Tesla today. And I'm one of the most heavily active Tesla traders through time. Trading long Tesla every single time there's a breakout. Every time there's a breakout, I trade. There's a short, I short it. So you can feel okay. Rest assured, if we need to wait for tomorrow for a trend line, whatever it's going to be on something like this, and again, whether the trend line's over here, and so rejection today, whether this was the trend line and we're sitting right on it, there's a lot of different ways. There's going to be a lot of charts tonight. I'm going to look through them. Again, it's going to be very options related because, again, all of the underlying price is based on the options. When you look at some of the charts, oh god, now we're loading slow. Come on, TradeView. Look at this. Look at where price is to the all-time high. I mean, they're fucking really beat up, guys. They're beat up. They do need to bounce back. Let's just be honest, okay? So, again, it's one day, so please do not go FOMO and all these weird things. You haven't even seen tomorrow yet. We don't even know what tomorrow looks like yet. So again, you need more than one day. You need more clarity. There's times when things are a clear breakout. Right now, it's not. Like, how can you buy Apple down here? Not really, no. So just chill, okay? I know some of you are looking at some of the prices and being like, shit, like, wasn't really prepared for that, because no one's prepared for it. That's why the price moved the way it did. The price moved the way it did because it's been so beat to shit for so long. Even yesterday, the same people that said it was crashing yesterday bought it today, right? So again, that's a level of chaos and uncertainty and things not being clear that we don't like, we don't want to be a part of. We understand a few things, which is those charts that are trending, things that came out of the money that came out of bonds that went into value trades, the money that came rotating from tech into value, those things, we could see it, understand it on a macro level. All we understand over here is that the same people that said things were crashing, they bought. We don't really see much more than that. So again, we need more than just that. We need more than just, like Bobsky said, clouds, bottom ticking things. We need more. So again, it's okay. It's okay. Chill. I'll post some charts tonight, things that broke out that we can take advantage of, things that maybe we need more time. Again, some things are going to take time. Now, overall, though, it's just a green fucking day. It's a big green day. A big green day, right? Everything was green. We can look through a lot of different things. Meme stocks did well. Intermediary tech did well. Mega caps did well. Value did well. Banks, energy, everything did well. Semiconductors had a little bit of comeback. EVs doing well. Pot stocks. We get a pot of pot stocks from last Friday. You could have bought it today at open as well. Those coming back. COVID winners coming back. Great. That doesn't help you. That doesn't help you. You need more than one day. We're consistent. Do you get every day that everything is green? No. So we're going to need more consistency than that. So again, we need things that are going to continue the trend, things that we can continue to trade. So that's going to be difficult for some of you because some of you want to trade some things that are not going to continue to move. Now, there are areas within what's been pulling back on the growth side. Things like clean energy, EVs, sure, they should be getting future flows. And with sort of the bond yields helping them out a little bit today, bond yields pulling back again further. They did not continue to spike through. All of the demand, again, what's happening when the yields are increasing, that it's getting cheaper to buy the bonds. Because again, as demand removes, the prices are going down. So the bonds are being bought. Now, we had the auction problem a couple weeks ago because of, again, it was the 7-year. This is a little different. This was short terms. We'll see how it is tomorrow. And then the 30-year should be really fucking interesting on Thursday. So again, there's still things that need to be watched. Tomorrow are CPI numbers, so inflation numbers. Again, if you get big inflation numbers, the projection is already 1.7. If you get more than 1.7, then tech will sell off. So remember that. Those are risks that are not involved with other trades. So again, you need to put all these things together. Some of you that bought tech at the very last second today are going to be sweating palming it when the CPI numbers come out in the morning. So remember these things that affect you more than the headline of tech rebound when tech was crashing yesterday. So again, there's things that I would not want to be a part of right now until I get clarity. There's some areas that we continue to buy like over into the weekend, even when it's not as great, like pot stocks, right? Pot stocks, the chart looks the fucking same. It looks the same as the Tesla chart. You could be like, okay, here's the Tesla chart. Could have bought this on Friday. You could say, I could have bought this on Friday. It's the same as saying, well, you bought the same looking thing on pot stocks. The difference was that pot stocks had support on Friday. So we bought on support. Tesla was in the middle of fucking nowhere, down 40% or some shit. Again, these things are very different. You got to know the difference. So in hindsight, you cannot say in hindsight, well, why didn't you get that trade? Again, it's the same thing applies. You guys know better. Why didn't you get the fucking trade, right? So again, we need to make sure we realize when things are happening in a moment or they're happening because of another moment from prep and things that were already happening. Just because the charts look the same, we know that there's actually a big difference between a lot of these trades and a lot of the bounce back again being really summed up with the big G word. And there's only one G word, so I can't even make a joke, but the gamma squeeze that's coming from March monthlies. There's going to be even more supply of calls now. And now that it's getting direction, again, the only thing that it needs is sustain. It needs to sustain that acceleration, the speed involved, which again, not just speed, but the velocity, the direction. If it continues this move, then things are really going to get fucking squeezed into the March monthly date. So it's going to be really interesting to see tech. Again, we're going to be a part of a lot of the moves where we can. We need to pick the spot. We need a little bit more information in some places. Some of the charts that we know well, something like Z I talked about, we understand all the levels of supply in here, so we can easily and confidently trade something like this. Even though it's down, that's exactly what we want. We want to buy at the lower range of things, like we did on Friday, right? We buy at the lower range, and we push it through at least up to the level of supply, or we push it into all-time highs. A lot of our charts are trending all-time high charts. We take advantage of that no supply. A lot of these, again, the problem and what's going to be hard is you don't need to fully bottom tick these charts. You need to be able to enter a position and have the confidence that it's going to continue to push. That's what makes buying early so difficult and preempting moves, is that usually you do not have the confidence yet to push something through, so you're fucking day trading it, scalping it. You're in and out really quick. It's not that trade where you can buy it and have the confidence to push it over a few days or to put a big position on. People that were picking up things today, obviously there's not as much confidence because it came out of nowhere, right? So again, remember the difference between these things. There are some trades that I took on this side, something like QFin had opened here. Now again, you can't be buying this on like Friday, bottom ticking this. Yeah, it pulled back, but again, you don't know in the moment. So this was a good opening buy today, understanding the level that's going to move towards a level. Again, solar was another part of that. Otherwise, again, everything was green, so throw a dart and fucking buy something, make a trade. Now, coming from Friday, a lot of the way this worked was you likely took a lot of profit yesterday, and so you were already cash ready to make opportunities from open. So as soon as you see things moving, you just have to buy something, right? You just buy something. I obviously was a little picky on what I wanted to buy. I didn't buy big mega caps. I didn't, again, mega caps. You don't need to go buy mega caps. Now Tesla is considered a mega cap. Tesla's on the EV side though. EVs could have been bought, again, tied into solar and all these things. But again, I was picky on what I wanted to buy. I wanted to have something that, if I'm going to put cash into something, I want to know that I can make something more out of it than just fucking one day. And if something's going to pull back, like if they historically retrace tomorrow, if you got something that went up 10% today, are you going to be able to hold through a 5% pullback tomorrow? Probably not, no. So I took profit on a lot of the moves too. So again, we do need more clarity, and again, if you're like pushing some things, then you're just gambling. Again, there's a lot of gambling, sure, but you don't have to gamble. You don't have to. So again, remember the difference between charts that are trending and charts that are just coming out of fucking nowhere, and people buy on green candles, sell on red candles, have no real direction, right? Big difference between these. Some of our charts that we continue to have pen the bottom tick here, 100% coming into Monday. This fucking move here, first of all, it's only 6%. Only 6%? Oof. Almost another 100% on that trade. Again, the underlying is completely different on a lot of these charts. So we don't really need to go through many individual tickers. Again, everything's basically green. The value side did very well did well here. Small caps really continuing to lead the way. Back closing above the trend line as well, which is very good. Over 2%. Again, this move here is, you need to also remember the all-time high, how close you are here comparatively, and again, the SPY as well. The SPY is tied into a lot of the energy in the bank side. So these are very close to all-time high. NASDAQ is really far away. So again, it depends on which side is going to get the momentum. That's our biggest question. Right now, the momentum is still swinging to the value side. And tomorrow is going to be, again, a good confirmation of which side is getting momentum. A big day, big rebound day today in tech. Depending on if that takes profit or not, we're going to be watching. So, for instance, NASDAQ did 4%. Does the NASDAQ lose 2% and then that 2% comes over to the value side? We need to see that. And again, tomorrow is going to be a really good day to learn some things about where prices are going and whether or not everything is going to go together. Again, right now the market has been doing what? Money's coming out of tech, had been coming out of growth, going into value. they can all go up together, just like they usually fucking do. We don't usually get rotation like on every single day. So we're looking for everything to climb together. Risk on. I've been talking about risk on market for the last couple months. Obviously, if you're on the growth side, you're not risk on. You're fucking selling all your tech. That's one side of the market. We're looking for everything to go together. That's what we look for. We look for indices all climbing. We look for Bitcoin to be going up. We look for even gold to be going up when the dollar's going down. We need these things, the correlations that make sense. They should be making sense and working, right? They should be working. The dollar coming down. This should be in line. There's not enough money coming out of the dollar to say that all of it went into tech. So again, we don't have macros backing up anything. So if the Nasdaq puts 4% on, and the money that came from tech went into the dollar, then why the fuck didn't the dollar move very much? These are questions that are not answered. So again, there are issues on the macro side. This here was in line with inflation, reinflation, not saying inflation. Reinflation, the economy getting back going. So where exactly is the money coming from? It didn't come from value. Value was also up. So where'd the money come from? Well, there was cash out there. There was cash sitting around. There's money coming from first of all, Asia came over. But again, we're not really, we see it a little bit here, but we're not seeing everything. So again, we do need more time. And a lot of you hate that. You wish you could just do everything in one day, make $1 million in a day or something. And what's the quote? Like, Rome wasn't built in a day. So yeah, it's not going to fucking happen. So again, we need more data until then, until the pendulum swings back the other way. We continue and stay in our lane, right? Stay in our lane. We've removed the short, of course. We were shorting tech. We already had removed that going into the weekend. We don't short over the fucking weekend. So again, that had already been removed. Now, what is it going to take for us to go long on some tech? Okay, we took some trades from open, very short term. What's it going to take for us to want to do something long? We're going to need to see it. You have to fucking convince me. Price needs to convince us to do things. We don't have to do anything. You don't have to buy something every day. You don't need to trade something every day. There needs to be a fucking reason. You better convince me. If the market doesn't convince me, I'm not doing anything, right? So we stay in our lane. We continue to trade things. We take advantage of short opportunities when they pop up. So again, things like today, we obviously had a lot of things popping up today that you could take advantage of. There was things that we were able to add on to a little bit because, again, we're only as strong as our weakest link. So in terms of value plays and things that I put on Friday, something like squaring PayPal that I have on the screen now, things like DraftKings Pen, those kind of things, they do better if all the indices are increasing. So before it was just one side of the equation. Now that everything is moving together, that means risk on mentality, demand. Again, that does help with everything. So you can start to increase sizing instead of just being on one side or the other. That's an important part of the market is overall demand. The average increasing together puts demand into the market, right? Instead of just being half the market has demand, half of it is fucking short. That kind of sentiment doesn't help with the whole equities average itself, right? There's not a full risk on. It's, well, we're risk on in some areas because the rest is shit. That was basically it. We're looking for everything to come back. Again, important things this week. So CPIs tomorrow. We have more bond auctions. We'll be able to watch the yields. These things fucking matter. Even for, like, I'm just saying through your mind. Like, my trades don't matter. They do. Your trades, whether it's $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, all these things matter. All the macros matter. The yields matter. Everything matters. Some bond trader making a trade based on the auction, his trade matters to you because your trade is affected by everything. So again, all of these things matter. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to mention anything. Let's look at the profit section. See what we got in here. I expect a day like today when everything is green. It's a lot easier for everyone here. So let's take a look. Mobsky, another day, plus 3.1%. Awesome number. Ecto 2%. Very nice. Glizzy, Brian with the 146. Good shit. LSU plus 750. That's a 3.5er. Awesome. Spoon with a 9%. He's coming in with another comment. I got stopped out on some tickers that I'm pissed about. X and AER. Oof. AER went up, $1 billion yesterday? X $1 billion yesterday? But not really enter much of tech due to not being prepared. Sounds good. 9% is, again, Spoon always coming in here with like 9%, 21%, and then having some sort of melodrama. You know, you get the biggest percent in here, so you're doing all right. C-Trader, 288. I'm guessing that's positive. Awesome number. Chris with the -1. Wasn't in on tech. XLF, XLE pullbacks. Oof. Oh, man. It's the end of value. You're done, Chris. Good luck. Looks like you're done for. Yikes. Energy pulled back. Ugh. Don't you hate that? Gotta hate that. I hate this trend. Oof. The fear of not making a million a day. Yikes. Let's see. Anything else? Nothing else. So again, yeah, when these trends continue to move to the upside, a day like today is one fucking day. Again, it's one day. Show me the trend, guys. You show me the trend, right? If you guys can show me the trend, exactly. And the best part is, again, yesterday was such a big day on the value side. Big fucking numbers, just like you see on tech. You get the same big numbers yesterday on value, but those have been trending the whole time, right? They've been continuing to trend. I think we have a couple good charts that we can look at as an example of this. Holy shit, Viacom, almost 5% today it lost. It lost almost 5% today? Holy shit, could you imagine being in this position, you fucking loser? Holy mackerel. You suck. You lost 5%. I gained 20% on Tesla that I told you every day for the last month, even though it's down 50%. Imagine. Ooh, fuck me. Oof. What's that number right there? Hold on. What is that number right there? I can't quite see that. Is that 168%? Hold on. 168%. Wait a second. What is this candle right here? 12% with a 69? Oh my god. And it did a historical retracement today? On the same day that tech went up? Fuck me. Coincidental. It could have happened any other day, and this would have been normal. Oof. Don't you hate when that happens? And then everyone makes fun of you? Fuck. I hate that. If tech didn't go up today, this would have looked normal. Would have seemed okay. Again, fucking value popped the fuck off yesterday, guys. Tech popped off today. These things, they happen at different times. It doesn't matter. The equity market's risk on. Everyone's making money. We're making money. Greg's drowning in this macaroni ball, blowing bubbles, but he's probably doing okay, right? Again, these things, not every day is a green day. Yesterday was a big day for value. Maybe they took a little profit today. Guess what? Tomorrow, tech is probably going to take profit too. That's how it works. It's not just one day. We don't think about the next 10, 30 minutes. We don't think about tomorrow. We think about next week. We think about a month from now. What am I going to be doing a month from now? You got to think about these things because it fucking matters. It all matters, right? That's why we try to use trends. The biggest thing that affects you and I right now and affects us all is that there's the most options volume ever right now. And I've been talking about it for a week or so, that everything, and you can quote me and at me and go clip it. Over the last week, every single day I've talked about everything, everywhere. The whole market is going to get squeezed. If you need me to clip it, I'll clip it. The whole market's going to get squeezed because of all the March monthly contracts that are out there. February, we had the most options volume ever. January, we had the most options volume ever. You can do this for every single month leading back in the last year. March is going to be the most options volume ever. What does that mean? That means fucking squeezes out of your mind. What did I say? I think the quote was, you're going to get your eyeball squeezed out and it's going to put the jelly on your toast. I literally said that last week. We don't know when exactly these things happen, but we know it's going to happen, so we prepare our risk accordingly. What does that mean? It means tech putting 4% on. Tesla putting 20% on in a fucking day. And you know what it also means? It can go to the downside as well. You want a good example? Go take a look at the Apple chart. Every fucking week, this thing is up 20%, down 20%. Not 20%, but you know what I'm talking about. 10%, 10%, and it moves up and down all the time because it's getting squeezed out of its mind. It's fucking roping itself, rolling up to the upside. These things happen when gamma's involved, right? Because at one point, you're hedging 100,000 calls, and then at the other, now the 100,000 calls aren't worth anything, right? These things matter. They truly matter. and it dictates everything. That's where we're at. People, yeah, there's companies like ARK puts on like Tesla shares, right? These kind of things. But do you see how different the timing is? How many fucking months were they buying those and it was going down? That's those type of things. That's a part of the value. But again, what's gonna change things and cause things to move is right now, and we know it is the fucking options and the amount that are out there and how many need to be hedged. Why? Because if something has a delta of fucking 50, that's a lot of goddamn shares you need for all those calls out there. That's a lot. And guess what? There's a limited supply. What happens if there's only 100 of something to buy and you need to buy them all right now? The price is going to get jacked up, right? And so that's what happens. How much does this happen and how much does it continue to go to the upside is the biggest question out there. And again, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. In terms of understanding retail, we're going to obviously use things like GME, just like we did back here, to understand the timing on, because again, these are all kind of different situations. Let me log this. So again, GME is getting going again over here. Again, it's very obvious. Like, it's beyond obvious at this point of the way the price movement is over here. Again, it's a fucking curve. It's quite literally the math is being done by algos of how much do you need to buy of the underlying as the acceleration gets going. So again, you guys see the same thing. You know exactly what you're looking at. And so it's just by how much. How many more fucking calls are up here? And that's what I keep asking every day is how many more are up here? You could do analysis and stuff, but it changes every day now. At some point, you don't need to hedge anymore. And at some point, the calls get rolled off. There's no longer there. They get paid. March 19th is a fucking day that you know how many are going to expire? Millions and millions of contracts will expire, right? Millions. That's millions and millions times of shares, right? That they don't need to be there anymore unless there's more calls that they have to go buy that they're being bought, then they need to go hedge, right? So these things, they fucking matter. Just like over here. What caused this to start coming down? You no longer needed to be fucking hedged against all this shit. You no longer need to be hedged. The calls are no longer there. They're no longer there, so you start to sell the underlying, and then that leads to other people selling calls, start to exercise. These things matter, right? Again, there isn't a good answer. There's not a good answer. So again, you don't get to crystal ball the fucking market. I'm sorry. There's some things that we have control of and we try to stay in the lane, but sometimes you just don't know. You just don't know. And you're going to have a hard time if you're not managing your risk accordingly. You need to, listen, as soon as the capital got fucking stormed, I added that to my risk. At any point, the capital could be stormed. It could cause a fucking market meltdown. Who knows? These things could happen. Now, that's absurd and unlikely. But there are things that do happen on a higher occurrence now that affect pricing, and we need to be aware of them. And that's just, those are tail risks. But I'm talking about just normal risks involved with trading, right? There are things that are out of control. Things are not absolute. And so we trade according to these risks. And risk management is the biggest portion of what you're going to ever do. Everything is risk oriented. How you set up your portfolio is all fucking risk. If you're in a bunch of bozo calls, you are a bozo, right? If you have a nice diversified portfolio with all kinds of shares and all these things and you're delta hedged, you're going to be a fucking old investing Benjamin Graham butthurt grandpa in a few years, right? You're not going to be making money when everyone else is chasing momentum and you just have to capture the momentum. And so again, there's a medium of when to be super risky, when not to be. And all you're trying to do is follow the flow, right? All you have to do is not fight the current and you're going to make fucking money. And don't make dumb decisions. And again, there's one thing, the last thing I'm going to say today, there's one thing that is, again, I don't know if it's a skill to learn or if it's just being a fucking person, but the one thing you need in this market is common sense. Almost every single question you ask yourselves, I ask myself, the market is wondering, can be answered by common sense. Every dumb thing that you do can be stopped by common sense before you make a ridiculous trade. Common sense will usually prevail. You have no clue what the hell you're doing. There's probably some common sense there you can use. There's no models, there's no rules or anything that are going to dictate everything you do. It's different, it depends. Everything is always it depends. The answer that I tell people is it depends to anything you say. 2 plus 2, it depends. That's the fucking reality, because you could be asking me God knows what. Who knows what you're asking? So again, the answer is always it depends, and always use your common sense first. I don't know what the metric of common sense is. Do I have more common sense than you as a trader? No. I don't know if it's really that. I don't think it's that. But maybe I use my common sense a lot more, and I don't fall for those problems, right? You got to figure out what your common sense is, because some of you today probably made some bonehead trades that tomorrow you're going to be like, wow, if I just had some common sense, I would have made that trade, right? Because it's just obvious. It's obvious in hindsight. That's where your common sense in the now comes in. So think about some of those things. I'm going to have a fucking boatload of charts probably tonight. Be mindful of everything we've been talking about. I'm very much invested in my idea of another play. I love making money though. And so again, when things are on the table and given to me, we're going to take them. So I'm going to be very specific towards some of the tech moves. I'm going to, again, I'm going to look through every single chart on the exchange. So again, the short-term pattern list is probably going to be really long, because obviously we've had a lot of downtrends on tech, and now they had a bullish candle. So that's what a short-term pattern is. I'm probably going to post, just about every tech company has one of those. Anything on the market was green. So I'm going to look through the exchange. I'll get all those on there. I'll rank them. Again, all those lists are in order. If it's a bullish list, they're in order of bullishness. That doesn't mean the last one on the list is not bullish. It's still fucking bullish. It's just not as bullish as the first one in my view. And then the bearish lists are the most bearish of the first. And I don't mean bearish overall. I just mean in terms of what that is signifying. Like if it's a fucking hammer candle, then okay, there you go. That is making it bearish within that moment, not overall. Not a bias. Doesn't change the bias. It's just one thing. Classic patterns, breakouts, breakdowns are much more impactful than the short-term patterns. I don't know how many tech sort of driven breakouts there really are. They need more clarity. So there's really not that many breakouts, because again, they haven't really consolidated anything. So if something's not consolidating, it's not a fucking breakout, right? So those will probably be a little limited, but expect a lot. But again, common sense. What have we been doing? What's the trend? These things matter. Things don't change in one day, right? So keep these things in mind. And I think tomorrow, again, you just need to look ahead. Just look ahead. How are people going to react later? And you got to be prepared for these things. And again, we take it a day at a time, right? Take it a day at a time. Do not come into tomorrow thinking you're going to be able to buy a bunch of fucking tech. Please don't. You missed it from the beginning, then you missed it. A lot of things gapped, and you need to be making decisions on gaps. None of you like to buy on gap ups. I've already tried to get you to buy on those. A lot of you don't do that, so again, doing it on tech is even worse. You don't need to, though. You don't need to. Something can move 20%, and you can still go buy it. You can still go buy it. So, again, it's okay for things that made a move. The percent value that it changed doesn't matter. It's the move it's on that matters, right? Again, there's so many examples of this where something went up 10% and then we bought it anyway, right? That's exactly what our breakouts look like. They move up, and then since it broke out, now we can trade it, right? And that's okay. It just feels weird in the moment, and that's okay. It always feels this way. What did I tell you about the market coming down? What did I say about tech over here? Because some people were having a hard time. I said it always feels like this. It always feels like the market's about to we're all killing ourselves. It just always feels like it. It does. It does. It does. It feels like it's about to be the Great Depression all over again. But it's not. It's just how you feel. And your feelings don't dictate the price of the market or where it's going or what it's going to do. So, again, everything and everyone is okay. You had a big green day today. You miss some things, you miss some things. You lose some money, you lose some money. You make some money, you make some money. Everything is in a fucking life crisis. And again, every day there's something to learn. We learned some things today that people can say the market's crashing one day and say it's fucking going to all-time highs the next. So, again, go look at Bloomberg. Yesterday, the market's crashing and everyone's rotating into value. They're hunkering down for the winter. And today, what's going on? Fucking tiki parties. I'm going to get margaritas with Margarita and Margaret. And who fucking knows? Everything is it's a thrill. Everything's great. You know, that's just not how the market works. We can't go crashing, pumping every single day, right? That's not what's happening. So, again, things get squeezed and priced violently, but it's a norm. We're within a norm. IVs are not increasing here. Volatility is just fucking high. Spot VIX doesn't say so, but volatilities are just high in here. They're no longer changing. They were low and now they got high. That's it. So again, keep these things in mind. We're in a big candle season. Look at the size of these candles. Yeah, they're a lot larger than here, but guess what? These candles are about twice the size of the candles that came before them. So again, we're just in high volume, big gamma situations with options. Again, find what you're comfortable with. Take advantage of what you can. Control what you can control. You're not going to make a miracle happen every single day. Again, one day out of many. So look for charts tonight. Again, the more you study and look at charts, the better you're going to be prepared so that when you look at it, you know what the fuck you're doing. Those of you that didn't do well today, I mean, I guess you're screwed. So if you did bad when the market was coming down before and you weren't trading value, and now all of a sudden tech is going up and now you're trying to trade value and it was down, then you're just fucking bad at picking stocks and you should probably quit. So there's that. And you pay me $80 a month. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you to take your $80. So you probably just suck at trading. So you guys know who you are. Yeah, leave. I'm just kidding, guys. Again, it's a learning progress. It takes a long time to learn this shit. So you can literally feel like you're guessing wrong every single time. Like, oh, the market's up, now I'm losing money. Oh, the market's down. You could just always feel like you're opposite. That's just because you need to get through a learning curve, and you're really low on the learning curve. And again, that might mean you need some more time to work through things. Again, don't risk more than. It shouldn't be don't risk more than you can lose. Use some fucking common sense. Don't put all your money on the line if it's going to hurt you, right? If your wife's going to kill you because you put the house up for reverse mortgage, took the loan, put the money into the market, lost it all. Well, yeah, you just suck. Why would you do that? That's terrible. What's wrong with you? Do you know more than the other guy on the trade? No. So you guys know better. We could rank everyone in this chat of experience and how good they are at trading. Why? Because we have fucking results, right? There's literally results. And I'm going to leave you with one more quote here that I was joking about at lunch. And I think Ecto asked, what you eat for lunch? Had Mexican, had margaritas, tacos, some tortilla, guac, chips, the whole shebang. But I was joking and laughing about something. What's different between us? We all want to make millions, right? All of us here want to trade and make millions. What's the fucking difference between us all? You know what everyone at my table said? So again, I went out with some other traders, and we had some other friends there. So it's like we all want to make millions. What's the difference between us? And you know what all the traders at the table said? We've already made millions. I'll see you guys. Have a good one. Enjoy your morning, your night, your evening, wherever you are. Remember, we all want to make millions, but some of us have already made millions. That's the fucking difference. Have a good one, guys.